All right, guys, thanks for checking out this video. Me and Agent are just gonna kind of go through the blog together and just kind of give you our thoughts and maybe what we're gonna do to prep and stuff like that. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. What's your initial thoughts on reading this blog?
Oh, I'm hype all get out. Like gonna be real frank. I'm
Yeah,
I'm freaking hype. Well, first of all, uh maybe I will get a rest from Blitz because the thing is I have like what 18,000 Blitz wins now
yeah. Sounds
in
like you're gonna
like
get like
less than a year.
forced
Forced
rests.
out.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm fine with that. It's misery. It's not fun. I do it because I get advantage out of it, and I don't do
right.
it for joy. So, okay, so that's great.
All
The
right.
quality of life stuff's good. So I want to say that at the top. The thing that I was anticipating this blog for that I think a lot of other games that I've played, the developers don't do a good job with is they don't do good quality of life improvements, and they don't listen to their player base for not even necessarily quality of life, but actual gameplay improvements over time. And I think this
Yeah,
game actually does a good job of. I mean, we can all complain about how Mr. Sinister wasn't farmable for so long, Ghost Rider wasn't farmable for so long, and yada yada.
yeah,
But really, though, if that's our biggest problem, like I mean, and there's other the blitz spotters were a huge issue. I mean, but I just think that the way that Reddit portrays the game is not nearly as bad as the way the developers actually react. I actually really think the developers of this game do a decent job. So good on them. This is a cool blog. I'm excited to talk to you about it.
yeah. Definitely. I've I've said it on the other video too. I've always been impressed by how the game's changed and how they listen to players, and I definitely I think it's a much better game than when I first started.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this is going to be unfathomable for new players, but remember how we had to like intentionally try to lose in Blitz?
yeah,
Like, oh, how absurd that was! It was
yeah,
crazy. We were like
a whole,
intentionally being like playing badly. It was the
yeah,
stupidest thing in the world.
a whole new meaning to sure to lose team. And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you couldn't auto it. Like you
yeah,
just
you had
try to
to
auto, and then
try
you'd
and
actually
basic as
win.
many times as you could.
Oh, or do like worthless stuff. You try to like rescue ult with like no other power armor members.
Right,
It was just like
exactly.
the dumbest crap. What were we
Yeah,
doing?
Shield Medic was my MVP. I would just throw her with like a bunch of like lower power tunes.
Just sort of basic everything.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, it was just horrid. So yeah, so they do listen on real basic stuff like that,
yeah.
and
They do.
and so we I won't jump the gun on Blitz, but there's a lot of cool stuff here, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of uncertainty, right? So
Oh
so we
yeah,
know
for sure.
like this ISO 8 thing, for example. I
Yeah.
still don't know crap.
Yeah,
Who knows? Does it even still have the 5 classes or whatever they said?
yeah. So I mean, that is worth pointing out that all of this stuff is just like their best guess at this point. I mean,
Hmm.
they're obviously working on it and they've put some time into it, but anything could have changed. So who knows? But I would assume based on the information that they showed about ISO 8 that most of that stuff will be true. But who knows? Maybe the feedback was so bad that they've
And
changed it more. But
the thing that I heard was that everyone was a healer, right? Or
yeah,
whatever they
right.
call that. Whatever it was. They were just like everyone
Yeah,
looked at it and they looked at it and they went, if I Black Bolt can just
right.
self-sustain,
Yep.
the game breaks. So that's one thing. I mean, and I obviously don't know what is going to go on in this game, but I've played competitive card games in the past, and one of the things that creates problems is when uh, archetypes that have specific weaknesses have those shored up by an
Right.
expansion, right?
Yeah.
Everything falls apart
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they have no weaknesses anymore and they just railroad everything. So
Right.
I think that that's maybe what they learned if what we heard about the healing thing where basically everyone's just symbiote Spider-Man now
Right.
is true.
Yeah.
Right? Symbiote Spider-Man is a ludicrous character.
Yeah.
And if we could just make everyone symbiote Spider-Man, I think we're cooking gas. So,
Right.
hopefully that's not exactly how it works when it comes out. We obviously don't know.
Right. Yeah. Not for sure. Are you doing anything in particular to prepare for this, or just waiting to see more?
I mean, keep playing the good tunes,
Right.
Like let's stay on the plan, folks. Like don't panic. Don't please please do not ask me the question, who's going to be good with ISO 8? I will blow my lid on you. I have no clue. Anyone who says they know is lying to you, unless they're a specific beta tester who is in their Envoy program. And then even they probably don't know, because frankly, their information is probably more dangerous than me saying I don't know anything.
That's
because what they know is subject to change.
Yeah.
Right? So they can be feeding you info that they feel confident they're trying to do you a solid, but they don't know if what Foxnet, excuse me, Scopely is going to be changing. It's just, who knows.
Yeah, I will say I really don't feel like I know anything about ISO 8, but I'm excited about it. I think
the fact that there's a campaign
cool.
associated with it, which means that, to me, the campaign clearly indicates that, just like everything else in this game, you could spend time or you could spend money, and that's okay. It's a lot better than I can spend money to RNG red stars.
Right.
Because that just is miserable. So I'm happy that there's hopefully something that we can achievably strive for and map out, right? We can try to very consistently divvy out that by X date, I think I will have Y reward, and therefore I'll be able to do whatever.
Right.
That's
yeah.
good.
I think it'll be nice, and it sounds like they know it's going to add some, additional bottleneck, and they're not going to have it intertwined too much with some of our other bottlenecks. From what they've said so far, like it's not going to cost gold to upgrade, for example, which I'm really excited about because we do not need another aspect of gold bottlenecks.
And so it doesn't. Not only does it not cost gold, but it rewards additional gold.
Yeah, we'll see how much, but yeah.
I found that interesting though. They specifically note that in the last line.
No,
and so I want to say something else that you said in your beginners video, which I immediately binged and put you off to record this in order to watch. I think it's interesting when you look at the natural progression, and this is true of anything, any game, any sport, anything, is that things evolve over time. And you can look back at, for example, basketball from the 1980s, and it looks like wildly different than what it is 30 years later.
Yeah.
So just in the same way, when people initially went through Dark Dimension 2, things were probably brutal, right? They were hard to gear your characters. It was tough. The enemies were unlike anything you'd ever seen before.
Right.
And now people are autoing this thing in a day, So so in the same sort of way that we see DD4, DD3, and this ISO 8 layering in these campaigns, I think that people, especially like me, right, who's not, you'll be going through DD4 way before me, because this hit me slowly because I'm stupid, but I forgot I had to gear people to gear 14 before I got into 15. So I was like, wow, I'm really going to have a long way to go for that gear 15. And then I went, oh my God, I got to get into 14 first. What am I going to do?
It's going to be crazy.
I I got 6 characters at gear 14 right now, and I feel so accomplished with myself. And I'm going to need how many in order to get to 14 in order to go to 15? Dear Lord.
Yeah, maybe we should just skip down to the Dark Dimension category.
Let's I gotta get to it.
I'm super hype about this for sure. One, just because I'm finishing up my second run of Dark Dimension 3, so I just get to jump right into. Well, we'll see when this comes.
I don't think it's coming for a while. So when did Tadanomac cleared? Pretty much instantly, right?
It was in like 3 days.
Yeah, it was in when? It was January or February?
Yeah, so I feel like there's 2 aspects of it. When it actually opened up, and then when they introduced the level cap.
Yeah, they announced it, right? They announced the...
Right, they announced it, and then, then they introduced 75. And...
They've had 75 since I started playing.
Okay, so yeah, I'll maybe that'll come soon then. We might get 80.
Yeah, we might get 80, and then, good point.
And then, like, in a few months, get DD4, so something... Yeah. That might but you're gonna have to be careful who we bring.
Oh, man, the thing is the gold curve we have to assume is going to continue on.
I'm definitely worried about that. Like I legit might start saving gold to just have like hoard and level later.
Exactly. So here's the thing. I always use that silly Magneto gif.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. I just started a war somewhere. But. Of where he holds in the Last Stand, where he holds Juggernaut back, and he goes, in chess the pawns go first, and a whole bunch of the minions just get obliterated by whatever gunfire or whatever. And you can hoard, and you're going to lose out a little bit on spending milestones, but who cares about those?
Right.
Let other people find out what's supposed to go to 80.
Right.
Because what from 70 to 75 right now, it's what is it 2.1 million?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think
Something
it's 2 million at least. So.
Okay, so let's call it 2 million. Let's assume it's 3 million. I mean,
Yeah.
and who knows? It might be a 20 character requirement. It's probably not because, well, who knows? We don't know, right?
I'm assuming it's not going to be 5. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to go backwards.
Yeah, I agree. So even at the current state, we're talking at least 10 tunes to do DD3, maybe a couple more
Right.
for the minimum first run if you do completely optimally.
Right.
30 million gold at minimum.
Right.
Let someone else figure out what's good, man. Like, I mean, you could go in and you could waste resources. You could try to whale with these guys, but the real big guys who are going to figure out what's going on, unless you're one of them, you're not competing with them. So you may as well hoard the resources.
Yeah.
But hoard those resources. Focus on just becoming smog of MSF and just start taking in all you can.
Right.
Oh, yeah. But I'm excited. It's just I like new challenges, you know. Like
that's the thing. I mean, Dark Dimension 3 is not always a blast, but it's I still enjoy the process.
Blast. That is so kind to Dark Dimension 3. Not always a blast. It is misery incarnate.
There's times where it's fun. I mean, I don't know. I guess there's I don't know. I probably enjoyed it more than other people. I probably enjoyed it more than other people, but I'm definitely looking forward. Even if Dark Dimension 4 is hard, I'm looking forward to it. And
I think it's going to be great. And Doom, we have to assume, that was unintentional. We have to assume that Doom is going to be ludicrous.
Oh, yeah. I'm assuming best character in every mode.
Yeah, probably. He probably goes everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no idea what his kit is. We have no idea what his stats are. Nothing. We don't know if you need to clear it 5 times in order to get him at 7 stars. Imagine that. You clear it once and you get the first star. Oh.
Yeah. Who
brutal.
knows?
But probably not. They probably won't do that. But that'd be hilarious.
It'll probably be too, but yeah, who knows? But there's almost no way they make people jump through this many hoops just to get Doom. I mean, people were a little bit like, D3 is not, the rewards aren't that great. Like, I don't need to rush to it, which I would say I kind of disagree with just because of how powerful Hero Level 14 is. But
that's it. So,
you know, we got to get a new character now, so you're going to want to rush to it. Like, you know, he's going to be good. Like, there's like no doubt in my mind.
I also want to make a point that I was making dinner earlier, and this popped into my head. So I don't know what I was doing when I was grilling, but it just somehow but I think they might have a problem here on their hands. They need to be really, really careful. The stats difference between 14 and 15. Because if the stat difference between 14 and 15 is approximately the same percentage-wise as it is from 13 to 14, if you are not taking at least 14s into a 15 in war, you're screwed. You can't fight a 13 into a 15 if the stat increase is the same from 13 to 14 as 14 to 15. Does that follow?
Yep, but you know what's interesting? If you take a gear level 14 character into Blitz at 8.3, guess what the enemies are?
15.
15.
And they're not that bad.
But if you look at the stats...
Oh, no.
That it has the same increase as up
does
to 14.
Does it really?
It does.
I
looked before because, you know, I noticed this for the increase to 14. I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe that's subject to change, but it looks like it. We can try and confirm it, but
okay, if that's true,
I'm pretty sure I've looked before, and it's a pretty similar stat increase as 14.
If that's true, and you're in like an alliance where not everyone's going through DD3 and you're like ahead of the game, if you have like a Gear 15 Sinister, that's like raid boss.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like no one's touching him. Like you can't. Like he's too big.
Right.
It's like what is it? Like a 30% increase for each power.
Yeah, I mean, I think damage is a little bit less, and then focus resistance is like huge. It's like above 40%, but yeah, it's like at least 20% damage, health, and armor. I think. So.
Let's call it 20 to 25% for the easy math. you're at 150% of the stats of a Gear 13.
Right.
It's a gong show. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can take your DD2 characters in, and they're going to get crushed. Oh, I do not like that. That's concerning.
I feel like there's a chance that if this is true, that Symbiote Spider-Man could solo Dark Dimension 2.
Oh my.
I'm just throwing it out there, but maybe Carnage and him or something like that.
Yeah, maybe there's some sort of turn meter manipulation or something like that stops them. But dear Lord, what do you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't know. We'll see. That's like mostly speculation, just based on what I've seen in Blitz. But
yeah,
so something to think about for sure.
Can you check stats to that degree?
So I think when you pull up Blitz, you can see your opponents and pull up stats, and I
really?
Yeah, I think I compared a gear level 13 MS. I think I did MSF GG gear level 13. I want to say it was Thing, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll just see.
Let's think about making a post with that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We should think about working on something like that. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it might be worth it.
Production meeting later.
Yeah. So I'll say I think since I'm pretty much done Dark Dimension 3, the second run, I think I'm gonna take Yo-Yo up to gear level 14 because I use her, every day in U7, and we're probably gonna be doing U7 difficulty 3. And after that, I think she might be my last, unless new characters get introduced that are raid or arena characters, like maybe Emma Frost or something. If she is like, you gotta have her in arena. But I think I might just save all my gold, all my gold gear, orange gear,
minis.
Just minis,
and
full pieces, maybe full pieces. Yeah.
We went from 12 to 24.
So we're going to 36, so we're going to 48.
Yeah. I'm really worried about that. So I'm buying anything that's good. I think I'm just gonna buy it. Like,
yep.
If it's on if it's a good tune, if there's good tunes associated with that unique, I'm gonna start just buying them all up. I probably won't buy the ones that are associated with a bunch of Hydra minions still, even though we might need them, but I can't afford to do that probably. But
how dare you do Judas bullets like that wrong? How dare you?
Yeah. Maybe I'll regret it, but I gotta draw the line somewhere for
prepping
for this. But
it's correct. Look, hey. If Hydra minions are what's required in DD4, screw you, Scopely.
Yeah.
I have strong words for you
Seriously.
that I can't say on YouTube. That's garbage.
So I think I'm gonna buy every unique up to at least 48 if they're already at 14. Does that make sense? And if they have more characters,
higher? Why not higher?
Yeah.
What if you need Mystique and Ultron and Captain Marvel and they're all adamantium, right?
Yeah.
No, not adamantium. But, the green one. You know what I mean?
I think that's right. But yeah,
I've never looked at Wolverine's upgrade. It's probably adamantium.
It is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So sure, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna be spending a lot of gold in that, but.
And then everything else you should be hoarding. I mean, I'm working on right now. So this is a question for you, and maybe this isn't applicable to the viewers at home, but when I go through Dark Dimension 3 for the first time, I'm currently on Note 3. It's going okay. I'm going to have about 10 characters for the first go through.
Yeah. Once
I get through, am I just going to instantly have all of the gear to just throw on whoever I want for Gear 14? I mean, I could hold it, obviously, but am I going to, once I gold them up, and get them ready to Gear 13 or 12, I'm just instantly going to be able to slap these pieces on them?
If you have the uniques, you should get, I want to say it's like, it depends on RNG, because all the rewards are RNG based, but I think about 2 per origin, depending on what pieces you get, depending on which origin, but I don't know, probably like 6 to 8 characters you get enough gear for or something. I mean,
but instantly just do it.
Oh yeah, you could.
So so the goal for the first round of Dark Dimension 3, I think for the people watching at home, should be to get your suite of characters, your 10 or so characters, your Hellas, Minervas, Ebony Maws, Shuri Phoenix, whoever, Carnage, SSM, yada yada.
Yeah.
Get them good to go. Fire them in, and then don't touch anybody.
It honestly might be, yeah. I mean, we don't know when this is coming or anything like that.
But it doesn't really hurt, or it doesn't really help unless you're deliberately widening your roster.
Yeah, I mean, I was still considering bringing up other arena tunes and U7 tunes depending on what
Sure.
what difficulty your alliance is doing. We're also going to have we'll get to this too, but the raid difficulty selector for Gamma and Alpha and Beta. I don't know if you factor that in at all, but
I want to get there in a minute, but I just want to say one last thing. As someone who's at 7.0, U7.0, not going anywhere higher than that anytime soon, and secure an arena and what I'm doing, I don't have Black Order, so I basically have my arena team figured out.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty much in a holding pattern then.
Yeah, I would say.
So once you secure those things, just chill.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't around when Dark Dimension 1 and 2 got introduced. I think I came somewhat shortly after, but I think those two kind of came. Yeah, I think so they kind of got introduced somewhat at the same time. I think, but they didn't get unlocked at the same time.
Okay.
So I think Dark Dimension 4, it's not unreasonable for it to be somewhat soon and kind of have Dark Dimension 3 be the lead-in to Dark Dimension 4. And when I went through Dark Dimension 1, I only had, I barely got the gear I needed, and I think I was even short a little bit of tech gear, and I only brought 2 tech characters, so I'm kind of envisioning Dark Dimension 3 is the lead-in, but you don't get anywhere near enough gear, so I think if you can get through Dark Dimension 3 and not have to over-gear characters, I mean,
I think it's going to be strong for us to consider the experiences of Dark Dimension N to N+1 when it first
right.
was released, when considering what we might need for this one.
Yeah.
Which is basically what you just said.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that. Like when Dark Dimension 3 was just announced, like what mindset was everyone in? I mean, we were building shield troopers. That's what our mindset was. But,
yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be pretty wild. I'm excited to see. I don't know how much more info we'll get on it and when, but yeah, I think I'm just in full horde mode now. I think it's gonna be. I mean, we don't have that much left in the year, unless they release at the end of December or something like that.
Yeah, we only have 4 months or so, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I have no intention of being one of those initial pawns that you said, and I couldn't compete with the people that are gonna try and do that stuff. But
you could call them what they are. They're shield troopers here.
Right.
That's what they are.
But I'll gladly be, one of the minions at the end that doesn't necessarily do it as ideal as possible, but I want Doom.
and I'll do it after that. I'll do it I'll be the first one doing it as optimally as possible.
Right. Yeah. So
that's what I am.
I'll be talking to people that are doing it and getting their advice, and I still want to try and do it pretty fast. I mean, I got top 500 for Dark Dimension 3. I think that's another goal for me. I mean, it costs me a lot of cores and stuff, but I'm fine with spending cores to get Dr. Doom.
Cores are there for you to spend.
Right.
We think right now, completely with no information whatsoever, Doom is probably going to be ludicrously OP.
Right. Yeah.
Just based on precedent.
Yeah. I would assume that the first people that get him and get him geared up aren't moving an arena. He's going to be.
Oh yeah.
Probably have no counters. That's what I'm assuming. So.
What if you could take him to 15 right away?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Right, exactly.
And I just want to point out something too, because there may be newer players watching. Black Bolt was released in when? It was roughly February of this year, or was it before?
I don't remember.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's within the last 8-ish months.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe a little before, maybe November. I don't remember exactly when.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was after I started playing.
Right.
Ultron without Black Bolt was crazy good.
Right.
There's a lot of people who have Black Bolt, so Ultron isn't a problem now in Arena.
Right.
You disrupt him, you hit him with the special. If you didn't get offense down, he dies every time, unless he's also gear 14.
Right.
No problem whatsoever. The guy's dead. Before you could do that, things got real. It was scary.
Yeah.
So there's a chance Doom is like that. Yeah. Where there's just no known weaknesses for a period of time.
For a long period. It wasn't Ultron was the top for a really long time. I mean, he was in my, arena team. Just don't ever touch him. Just leave him for a long time. So
there's a chance Doom is ludicrously OP. So
right. Yeah.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's talk about some other stuff. We'll probably end up coming back to Dark Dimension just because we're both excited about it. We'll see.
One last note on Doom, though.
Yeah.
Doom is going to still be an exceptionally late game character because by definition, everyone else on your arenas is going to be Gear 14 because they had to have done it to get Doom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just something to think about.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
for
probably
sure.
not as big of a problem as Ultron, right? Because people who quick cleared Ultron, we're just like, oh, what do we do with this guy?
That's
Like,
true.
he just runs everyone over. Whereas this, it's like everyone by definition is going to have had huge teams, which means he probably won't be as impressive.
Yeah, that's true. Something else we'll just keep talking about it. Something else to point out is that we're gonna have to do 75 to 80, just like our commander level. That's gonna be a huge bottleneck in itself. I mean, I think I don't know exactly how long 70 to 75 took, but we'll be able to figure it out shortly. But
Do you think they backlog? They like just backlog everyone, or
I don't-
they make everyone gear
no,
up?
because I was here when 70 started.
really?
Now, you just start from scratch, I'm pretty sure.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so like that's gonna be even just a time component to this, is
Yeah.
just getting experience. And I'm sure someone out there knows how long it takes to get from 70 to 75, but it's definitely going to be an exponential thing again. It's going to take a long time. So
What if it's 3 months?
yeah, so that's going to be a bottleneck just there. So
Well, you could spend gold. Sorry, energy.
you could, yeah. So we'll see. I was trying to take the time after Dark Dimension 3 to kind of build out my roster a little bit for War and go a little bit wide. So I still might do that and then wait till the level cap comes. I know I'm not going to get into Dark Dimension 4 until I hit 80. So maybe that's when I'll start saving gold a little bit more, is once that cap comes or something. I could just start now, but I'm just not going to progress my roster for like, months and months if I do this.
I think you could spend it, but I think we have to really be thinking about you're probably going to have to be saving. Sorry, you're going to have to be saving at minimum with our exceptionally liberal estimates of A, what it costs to go from 75 to 80, then B, the number of tunes that we used in DD3 using the exact same number in DD4.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're using the exact same characters.
Yeah, of 30, not only the same number, you're right. We have to have taken the exact same characters we took to 75 to 80 of 30 million gold at minimum.
That's just from levels too. That's not even gears or anything.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, what if they make T6s?
T5,
whatever. If they make upgrades for every character to 8, or to
I think I saw like rumors of like red abilities or weight abilities at one point. There's a chance
too. There could be new tier 5s for. I expressed it wrong, but you know what I mean. A passive level 6 or a ultimate level.
Yeah. 8. I mean, I'll have to find some balance to. I can't just not progress my roster at all, but I think I can do minimal gold investments and get some of my teams up to even just like taking meta teams to level 60, 6664 is not like a huge amount of gold compared to what I'm gonna need. So I might be able to do some of that, but I think I'm just done with trying to get people up to definitely to gear level 14. But
you cannot go all the way to 0 too, right?
Yeah, right.
You can say, look, I'm going to ferret away where I previously was going to say, I'm going to use the Symbiote Spider-Man milestones for an example, where I was previously going to the 12 and a half 100,000. That's not real numbers. The 1.25 million.
Right.
12 and a half 100,000. What the heck? What is that crap? 1.25 million. Like, I'm going to cut that to 1 million.
Right.
And I'm going to pick up a $250,000 every day, and we might be around here for 3 months. Suddenly, you've got what would that be? 22.5 million gold or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever the number ends up being. So that's serious savings for just a relatively small daily behavioral change.
Right.
I think a lot of this stuff is like personal finance to me.
it is.
You can make small changes in your life, and you end up over time, just extrapolating it to great degrees. So
yeah, that's one of my biggest complaints about people that have to deal with the whole training module bottlenecks. There's we don't even know how to do that properly or why people have that bottleneck. So I hope that they find a way to I wish they would just get rid of it. It seems like there's.
Yeah, I agree. It's a stupid mechanic for some reason where they bottleneck people, but no one can figure out why.
Right.
My theory is that it's there for min-maxers.
Yeah.
Where if you get Ultron, just for an example, if you get Ultron really quickly,
Yeah.
you had to have basically not cut corners, but you've got like the tallest and narrowest roster possible because you just
Right.
shotgunned Ultron.
Yeah.
And basically your income, this is again my working theory, and we're not going off a blog anymore, but anyway, is that your income is linear and that expenditure is exponential. So the idea, excuse me, the idea is
Yeah.
that you give that linear income so you don't have people exponentially shotgunning to those higher tiers. And the people who have gone too narrow and too tall have spent all their training modules on that tall business,
Right.
and thus they're totally bottlenecked because they've gone to 0 and they're just totally starved for it.
Yeah.
And that's my theory for why it exists. I don't know if that's true, but it's from one of my basic observation of people I know have this problem are. That's what I see.
Yeah. I could definitely believe that. But it just seems like a silly one, but who knows?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't like it. It's silly.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, yeah.
All right.
Blog.
PvP.
It's fun.
I come from a competitive background in Hearthstone, so I love playing one-on-one games for rankings. So.
I mean, I've been playing PvP almost daily since PvP was released. So one, I'm just hyped because I feel like I have a huge advantage to people that haven't been playing. So I'm excited about that. A lot of people only played to get the red stars and then stop. So one, I'm excited about that too, and then two, you know, I played Hearthstone as well, and I really enjoy having some sort of ladder system and trying to get better. So I think it's really cool.
It's a scoreboard for your thinking.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a.
It's fun. Like, tunes that are good in this mode are, you know, it's a little bit different from any other mode I've played. I mean, I've played some pretty, you know, people that are pretty good at this game and have like a lot of knowledge, and you know, they pick tunes that I'm just like, yeah, they're not really that good in this mode. So I think it's really cool, and it's just another excuse to use different tunes.
That's what's fun. It reminds me a lot of Dota.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of drafting in Dota because the roster in this game is really deep.
It is.
Like there's some unlike Dota, there's some real hot garbage here. Where there's more. Sorry, let me rephrase that. There's more hot garbage.
Right.
Like there's some hot garbage in Dota, but there's more hot garbage here.
Yeah.
But the pool is still like 60+ tunes deep of like actual viable, interesting picks.
It is definitely. So I'll be really excited to do it. Like they've said, it can take a while, so they're trying to figure out a way to streamline it.
I think that's wonderful. I think it's wonderful because you're going to get people who grief you on the ladder. Right, so they have to make it a decent experience for people, so you can't get grief. Because, I've played enough online competitive games. You're gonna get griefers. It's gonna be miserable. Yeah. So, I'm interested though.
I am too. I really like the draft, and it is time consuming, but I'm worried they're gonna get rid of that.
I believe that you pick up significant percentage points in the drafts. I think agree with that. But that's a wonderful game. So when I play games, so I used to play a lot of Hearthstone Arena, and I started disliking Hearthstone Arena because I didn't feel that my player agency had an effect on the outcome of the game.
Right.
I feel that is not true in MSF PvP at all. I think it's wonderful because it's very little randomness, right? There's a little bit of the left side, right side crap, which is just some
hopefully they fix that if they're gonna do it.
I hope so.
They have to. Can you imagine?
Jeez Louise, could you imagine if the dire side just like had higher
right.
high ground, like you couldn't see up it? It was like, you lose. I guess you lost the coin from the left side of the map you had.
I think Dota did have stuff like that.
Well, yeah, they did. They have side map, but it's like 51%.
Yeah, right.
Like, whereas this, it's like,
right.
Your buffs and debuffs just don't work.
Right, and there's like certain characters are just like way better. Like you just like
Oh.
can't even pick them on the other side. So.
You have left side, you can't pick human torch, loser.
Right.
Like what?
Yeah.
Or whatever that however.
I assume they'll fix that, but who
Yeah,
knows?
I hope so. But I think that since the game is of relatively perfect information, I mean you know exactly what the other guy's roster is, and you can plan accordingly. So there's a lot of influence you can have on the outcome. If you leave something open and the guy last picks Yo-Yo into his Black Bolt, you're like, oh geez, what was I doing? There's clear player agency over the outcomes, and that's really cool. That's a basis for something potentially competitive. And
Right.
the other thing I like is that something that you said is that they're going to try stuff with this.
Yeah.
They might scrap it. They might alpha test this, basically just throw it out in the public and just go, hey, figure it out.
Right.
And they learn a whole bunch of what didn't work, and they rework it. I like what they've done with PvP, especially with balanced.
Yeah, so that's one thing they don't say here at all. I assume it'll be classic, just because those are like your tunes, but
both.
it could be both too, and maybe one comes before the other. So I don't know. There's a lot of things I'm interested about here. Like one thing, I wonder, like, are you gonna have to play it every day? Like, like how much you're gonna have to play? Can you play as many times as you want? That kind of stuff will be interesting.
Can you do it every 15 minutes like Arena?
Right. Yeah. Is it just 5 times a day? Or,
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
Play more.
Yeah. We already play this game a lot to be competitive. To add another competitive mode, I'll definitely be interested about that.
Yeah,
but
I'm excited.
I'll be much. I get really frustrated when I have to blitz hard because I don't get to play PvP as much. Like I drop out of tournaments and stuff because I'm like, I can't. I need to do blitz. So if they change blitz so that I can do PvP more, I'm gonna be super hyped about that.
Can we talk about the quality of life with blitz now?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think we care about sound effects at all, but I
never
interested about this. So this is something that these to me are what makes so I always a quick quibble. I think that Scopely oftentimes gets quality of life and these layups correct, but they blow it a lot of the time. Why on earth is Hella not double featured in the Black Bolt calendar? Yeah. You have heard me rage about this every time. It would be the simplest and smallest gesture to give an additional 5 Hella shards instead of another 5 Thor shards to your player base. Just give us the olive branch, okay? So they miss those, and that's the most minute stuff.
Yeah.
But this is smart. Why on earth would you not have top 1% to 2%, or even top 1% or top 0.5% for the whales and the krakens, so they don't have to kill each other to play your game?
Right.
That's just a layup. Fix that tomorrow. Seriously, figure it out. You've got a top 2,000 reward rolling. Cut off your 1% to 2%. I finish 1% to 2% quite often, actually, in a lot of blitzes, and my roster is 2.6 million. But you're not worrying about guys like me. Don't have your Krakens all killing each other trying to hit 100 million. That's insanity.
That's how you burn out. That's how you burn out all your spenders.
The spenders! It's the people with the cash! Why would you do this?
Right.
So just hit the layup, dudes. Like, just make it top 1% or whatever it is, and just say, like, hey, everyone gets 80 shards, and just be done with it. And then encourage them to spend on the offers. They know they're getting 80 or whatever your price point is to hit, that you know that you're going to get people to spend. So
I mean,
this is obvious.
There's no doubt there's ways to improve blitz, and I see a lot of posts, especially on Reddit or even just suggestions in our Discord and stuff, and it's like, no, those are terrible. Like I do want to see blitz changes. There's a lot of bad ideas about blitz too.
We said this at the top. I do it because I have to. I don't do it because I like it.
Right.
I blitz for World Warrior because my alliance isn't the best with that. I blitz for credits, and I blitz for shards.
Right.
And I do it because I'm mostly free to play. But I would, the message that I send you on Discord when there's a Yondu blitz. There is some hallelujah going on. So just kill the low quality time, guys.
Yeah, there's some stuff I'm really excited about in here. One thing, it does say your number 3 refreshes each character can get in 24-hour period. So I don't know exactly
I
what that
will
means.
max
But,
that. I will
mean,
max that out.
yeah, I don't. We'll see exactly what that means. But
They're going to make it 6 times a day or 5 times a day or 3
yeah,
times a day or whatever, you know.
which that'll be kind of nice to have. Like yeah, I just need to do this, and I've done as much as I can. So something else. So I think Blitz could be cool. There's a lot of characters that I only use in Blitz that I don't really use anywhere else. But I just do it on auto, so I'm not actually even playing with them. So if they do make it so that you care more about winning your matches and you reduce the number of matches you have to play, like I think it could be kind of cool. Like I would enjoy playing with some of the characters I don't get to play with because I don't use them in arena or I don't use them in raids. And especially like war defense teams, I never get to play.
Yeah, I was going to bring them up. I was going to bring that up, right? Like Marauders, I auto them in Blitz. That's my interaction with them. And I use Sinister in Arena. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
But I do want to bring up something because you made me think of 2 things. Number 1 is the rumored auto sim or auto blitz or whatever we're going to call it. Basically, their own blitz, not your own blitz bot, but your own. You just hit it and it simulates it and says, "Hey, you won or you lost." It basically auto fights at random.
Right.
That screenshot was thrown around months ago. Nothing came of it.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what it is. I would like to see, if you do want to partake in the auto feature, potentially lower numbers of points or rewards.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah.
Just because then you reward people, hey, I don't have the time, but I can still get something.
Right.
Yeah. If you want to put the time in, you get value for your time because you get additional rewards. But the guy who it doesn't have 0, because that just feels like crap, right? When you get nothing, you're just miserable with the experience.
Yeah.
The second thing is rework the rewards. If you're going to limit the number of 3 refreshes, give us something. Give us premium orb shards along with a couple more blitz tokens or blitz credits. Something like that. Something relatively benign.
Right.
Where in the long run it won't really move the needle, but it helps the players. Again, it's these olive branches of the player base to show us, hey, here's something.
Right.
I'd like to see that.
Like there's potential that you get less blitz credits from this change because you might blitz less. Yeah.
I will certainly get fewer blitz credits if they don't make changes to increase it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, right now, seriously, right now I'm winning like 160 blitzes a day.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So this will get me fewer blitz credits than that.
Right.
It's like,
right. Yeah. So I'll be interested to see what they do with that. But yeah, I just Blitz has a lot of potential, and it's like the only mode where you use all your characters. I mean, War does a little bit, but you don't use any of your defense, and then you only can do a certain amount of attacks on offense. So you don't use the bottom of your roster, and you don't use D. So I don't know. I'm hopeful, but I don't really like the whole idea of the auto blitz thing because it's just like
auto sim.
Yeah, I mean, I do the way it is now because I don't want to play blitz all the time. But I just wish blitz was more fun and like an enjoyable mode.
But what if? Yeah, okay. So like, what if I just want to bring up this auto sim thing in reference to what currently exists? What if it was super punitive? You got a quarter of the rewards.
Yeah.
But you just like go through every day and you just tap, and you're
right.
Done. And it's really punitive rather than running it.
Yeah.
But you do it your 4 or 6 times or whatever we're capping it to arbitrarily a day, and that okay, you didn't have to invest, but you got a little something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that'd be nice, especially for like you said, a Yondu blitz where it's like, oh, now I don't even have to touch the game. I can just do this a few times a day and be done.
Guys, it's better because you know what we do when we Yondu blitz? We do it the first night. We hit the milestones, and we do 2 a day for the reward.
Right.
For the what's it called? I mean, we don't even we would get more from just hitting the auto buttons that are complete inactivity.
Right. Yeah.
And so in that instance, it's us just choosing to rest. But for other people, like they'll like see the Toad Blitz numbers and they're like, well, I can't do that, so I'm just not going to do it at all.
Right. Yeah.
That's the guy you want to get in the game. You want to get him playing your game.
Right.
It's just the low quality time's so bad they just don't even want to bother.
Yeah.
They got to get that out.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm definitely hopeful. I'm expecting I'm expecting Blitz to just like have changes over the next year. Like I'm not expecting them to be perfected here. To be honest, it's just It's
Yeah.
it's a huge time sink. So I'm
Oh,
expecting small changes that make it better.
They might. Well, I don't know. They might scrap the whole thing. We'll see.
Yeah,
Based on what you were saying earlier, if you were going to make something that uses the entirety of your roster in an interactive way, in a way you actually had to play the game, that's not the existing Blitz. It's just not. They're going to have to do something completely new.
right.
So it's
Yeah.
just, I don't know what that would look like, but I don't. It might be called Blitz. I don't think it really will be like the existing Blitz.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, imagine you could only play with each character once a day. You'd probably play those. You'd probably play those matches, right?
What do you mean? I mean, I have them now and I don't play them.
I'm saying you can only use characters once a day. So
I mean,
to get points, you need to win.
Oh, you mean
Like
like you would get one Blitz for your Marauders daily,
Yeah, you
and then once you use them, you don't have to use them anymore.
correct. And if
Oh,
if you won with them, it obviously was an amount of points that you needed. And if you lost those points. I would think you would play those matches every day. That's kind of
that's
the
interesting.
extreme of.
What if they made it a ladder system, or not a ladder, but a weekly measurement of your accomplishments daily, or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, what if they weren't? Well, they have to still do character releases, but what if they completely scrapped the 3-day deal too?
Yeah.
What if it was weekly for a set of characters? You have maybe three. And now I'm getting really off the wall, but they have Orbs and Toad and X-23 and Yondu all this week. And
Right.
wherever you rank is for the cluster of characters, and you get the shards accordingly for the whole week's worth of blitzing instead of a 3-day deal. I don't know. They could do all sorts of crap.
We'll see. But I just that's what I think about when I see this. We're revising our point calculations to increase the value of winning matches, which you only get points if you win. So I don't know exactly what this means, but if I think about it, and if I only had to use each of my teams once a day, and the matches were hard, and I had to be careful with them, I would play them, and I would enjoy playing it more than just autoing it all day, every day. So
I want to bring this up. Do you like Arena besides the slingshotting?
Yes and no, but it's gotten a little dull as I've gotten closer and closer to the end game.
To the complete.
Because I just play the same stuff over and over again. But I really enjoyed Arena as we were all growing as a shard.
I like that too.
Yeah. So
what if they made something Arena-like?
Right.
For a week, there's some wacky restrictions. I'm totally off the wall here.
Right.
Hey, it's villain week. All your heroes, nada. You don't have any of them.
Right.
And then maybe as the week goes on, we start eliminating. I don't know. There could be all sorts of crazy stuff you could come up with adjusting the time periods of these characters as well. And I do think there might be some merit in that kind of bundling of the characters' rewards and changing the format to something longer form, kind of like what you're describing, this 1-a-day deal, and then it builds up over the course of the week, and then you get your payout.
Right.
So then, like you're saying, there's focus on, as they said here, of winning the match, not winning at 8.3, but winning, the majority of your matches, for example.
Yeah. I don't want to get to the point where we just try and auto everything. It's nice to be able to auto some stuff, but I would rather it war is fun. Yeah, war is fun because you're trying to choose matchups and you're trying to punch up really high, and you have to. And if you lose, you're like, dang it! Like I have to wait, 2 or 3 days to use this team again and try this match. That's why it's fun.
We brought this up.
I want Blitz to be like that too.
Yeah, we brought this up in our war chat today for an alliance. Which, by the way, I just totally missed the end of our war. I hope we won. We were up a lot, so hopefully we won. But someone brought up that hey, I lost this matchup. It was into a Coulson, but it wasn't it was just a random bunch of tunes. And we didn't know how to gauge it. It was into a cargo bay with security debuff. And he just got wiped by this Coulson. And we were just I guess you just got offense up into defense down by Coulson going first or whatever.
and
Yeah.
like we didn't know how to gauge it.
Yeah.
But like, there's no way to learn. It's like you're saying, right? You know, you have a chance to try it once every 2 days or 3
Right.
days.
Right.
Like that's not a real way to learn and develop the game. So there might be something here for players to actually be a little bit more iterative in their learning of matchups and game mechanics too.
Yeah.
What if it's like a danger room sort of thing where everyone gets their buffs? People have suggested that forever.
I know that definitely would be cool. But so I'm definitely hopeful. I could definitely like see something where it's like, wow, I want to play my games, and I want to use all my roster, and that would be really fun to get to use all my roster every day. How
And
the
you
games
don't
matter,
auto.
and I don't auto it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I enjoy Blitz the most when I play it, but it doesn't. There's no reason to when I can just auto it.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the reasons I like U7. I mean, it can be tiring at times for sure, but I do enjoy that it's a challenge and the rewards are better and stuff. So
Yeah, I get that to a point with U7, with U6 and the different difficulties in U6, and then U7 as I've played it. I've gotten to the point where I auto U7.
yeah,
So it doesn't have. So I like that. You know, I can just turn it on, I let it rip, and I'm done.
right,
But when I was learning it, when I was first getting to the point where I was comfortable autoing it, that's cool.
right,
That's a new puzzle. It's a new challenge.
Right.
That's why we like, again, going back to my previous point, when I have agency over my outcome, when I'm learning something and hopefully the next time I'm doing it better than the last time.
right,
That's what people, especially people who play games competitively, like to do. They like to feel like they're getting better at something.
right,
And when I'm autoing it, I don't get any of that joy after a certain point.
right. You don't have any sort of kill order. You don't have to think
it's
about
just
that kind of stuff.
bulldozer. It just
Yeah.
mows them down. So,
And I think what you said is something I wanted to say about Arena. You asked me about Arena. I think most competitive players probably play their 5 matches in a day, unless you're just like so far ahead in your shard
Yep.
that you can either not play all 5 or just throw it on auto or something like that. But
throw it away for World
that's
War.
one thing I do kind of like about Arena is, I mean, at times it's like it'd be nice just to throw it on auto and win still or something like that. But overall, I like that it's just 5 matches in a day. That's not that much, and you play it. So I'm definitely hopeful about Blitz. I think there's a lot of potential there. One thing I do like about this game is you have so many characters, but I get frustrated sometimes that the same characters that are good in Arena are good in the raids, and those are the ones that you do every day. And it's like, it would be really cool to have Blitz and get to use characters that I don't, and it'd also be cool to like have an excuse to build up some other characters.
So I think we can summarize it like this: fewer blitzes, more meaning.
Yeah, for sure.
We want each of those blitzes to matter, because then we won't feel like we have to auto them.
And that's completely what I get out of this. I don't know exactly what it'll look like, but it sounds like that's.
I didn't read it necessarily
Really?
that way. I read it as more of a we're going to cap the number on your matches, and we're probably going to make the difficulties more in points, more level, such that you're not essentially just blitzing up to 8.3 and just trying to win as many on 8.3 as possible.
Yeah.
I hope it's like you're saying, where they don't continue to use the blitz format, they do something a little bit more interesting with those fewer matches to make that fewer and more important matches.
Yeah.
Like the randomized arena teams from another shard. Like what if this is something, just a weird idea I had. I know we were about to move on, but I just popped into my head. What if it was like a cargo, a flight deck? There's 8 teams and you can't see all of them, but you're told that this player's TCP is equivalent to yours. You pick your favorite 8 attack teams, and you have to go into this and win as many of the fights in the flight deck as possible.
Yeah, I think there's modes like that in other games that people
are there
really like. I think so. Yeah.
Really?
Okay. I don't know that much about it, but I think that's somewhat similar to Grand Arena and Switch Go.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so. I think it's kind of like almost like Solo War, which is kind of what you described. So I don't know enough about it, but I've heard people talk about it and say they really like it. So
you'd use your whole roster. You'd be able to set and maybe you can use the offense and the defense.
Yeah.
Like you could use the same tunes. So you'd use 40 tunes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of tunes. And then maybe you have to decide, like, hey, I don't have anything for this opponent. I'm just going to sacrifice this fight and try to win the next one. Like that's strategy to me. That's cool. It's unique. because I think the thing that Blitz completely lacks is replayability, and that's why we auto it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. We like decision making.
Right. Yeah. But I will say, I'll expect that this will be better than what we have now. But I don't expect that everyone's just going to love Blitz. I think
I agree.
that seems to be what happens. Is like I said, I think the game's gotten better. You know, even like raids and having the difficulty selector is cool. I think, you know, it's kind of
Awesome.
like kind of like a smallish change, not like a complete revamp. And like, you know, some people are still autoing it and stuff. Didn't like completely get rid of that, but
I think the difficulty selector is a complete and utter
Yeah.
net good.
yeah,
It's just it's a total win. There's no downside to it.
yeah, I agree. So
It's-
I think
and
I
hope
would
it's this
expect
way.
something. I don't know. I don't expect like the complete mode to get reworked. I just expect some small changes that hopefully make a big impact, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
I think we might see those small changes into a mode rework.
Maybe. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It sounds like they're talking about all sorts of stuff, so I just think they're gonna keep reworking it. They're listening to people. Like I think it's clear from everything in here that they listen to the feedback on Blitz. They know. So it probably won't be perfect and it won't make everybody happy, but it'll be better. I think. So will these
What
things.
else do we have?
And this stuff's small. Squad management. I mean, I personally, I mean, I'm cool with it, but it doesn't bother me all that much the way it is now. It's a little bit annoying sometimes too.
Instead of scrolling.
I guess instead of scrolling, we'll see what's going to happen with it. I know some people want to be able to make your squads like in roster mode as opposed to like in Blitz and stuff, because that is kind of a little bit silly.
That's a hokey backdoor that feels like it was added afterward. Well,
That's just
I
what
just want to.
happens.
It's probably what happened. Is it actually what happened?
Yeah, you didn't always used to have save squads.
Really?
Yeah, every Blitz you had to manually select your squad.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was a feature?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense why it's that way. So I assume that the roster scrolling is like that. It's insane to me that I have to remember the relative character powers of my tunes in order to like scroll to the proper
Right.
location.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
so,
some like I have a pretty good memory, so like I'm okay.
yeah.
But like that's dumb. Like I have 130 numbers I have to keep in my head straight. That's insanity.
Right.
There's a reason phone numbers have 7 numbers, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's what we can remember easily. So yeah, this is just an unequivocal good.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely be good. I just don't touch my save squads all that much and stuff. But maybe I will more if I get this, but it'll be good. I'm not like super hyped about it or anything.
Yeah, but it'll help people who are quickly developing and widening their rosters because it'll help them clean that crap up.
Yeah, that is true. Now I have all the characters and I don't really adjust my squads. But when you're unlocking it. When you unlock everybody and you're constantly switching it, it definitely will be nice. Yeah.
Oh, it was that I would put that off more than vacuuming my house. I hate vacuuming.
Right.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this is another. This will just be nice. I mean, the only thing we get out of having Wolverine in there now is like a very, very, very small amount of Ultimate shards, which, you know, or Ultimate frag orb shards. You know, this will be nice.
I just upgraded Wolverine today.
Did you?
7
You finally
stars.
did it.
I finally did. I posted in the Discord. I opened 7 Ultimate orbs
Really?
with my extra Wolverine shards because I am working on Magneto. So I'll be getting 7-star Magneto as part of the plan. But it's so bad. Like the reward is so crap that I rather have 500,000 gold, 500,000 gold, than what would that be? 105 random tune shards.
Right.
Come on, Fox Next. That's crap. So good that you're changing it.
Yeah.
Scopely, I'm sorry. But it went on too long. But you know, the best time to plant the tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Right.
Done.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see. They didn't say specifically that there'll be another character. That I don't know if that means they haven't figured out what it'll be, or they just want to keep it open-ended for now. But,
just as ambiguous, like Jim, with that press release with Wolverine, just keep it as ambiguous as possible. We don't know what we're doing yet. You know,
seriously,
it could just be that. It could be something new. It could be that they're giving us one, T5.
Right. Could be T5 or ISO 8. ISO 8.
Could be that. That'd be kind of
So,
fun, you know.
yeah.
They probably don't want that because they probably don't want long-time players accelerating ahead of new players. So it's probably
That's
going to
true.
be relatively innocuous.
So that is the one thing that I think a lot of people forget in general in this game is that I think Scopely does a pretty good job of thinking about how this will affect all of their players. And I know people would disagree with me, but you don't want there to be like a downhill climb where the players that get ahead just get further and further ahead. You know, I think they actually do a fairly good job of.
I actually think the arena system, for the exact reason you just described, is incredibly damaging
Yeah,
to
seriously.
players. It's just like, to bring another personal finance analogy, it's just like investing in your 401k when you're 22 versus when you're 30. If you get more cores from arena when you're
Right.
early on, you
Right.
start snowballing further and further ahead, and that's not good for your general health of your player base. I mean, personally, I got as far ahead in arena as possible because it was the best method in order for me to gain more cores.
Exactly.
But in terms of fairness, no, man, that's not good. And so the exact reason you just described is that you don't want those players going further and further ahead.
Right. So there's some changes that I see suggested, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that would be so bad for newer players or people that aren't at the top right now. So.
That's something that people who like if you have Ultimus, okay, you're probably north of 5 million TCP, usually.
Yeah, it seems like somewhere around there. Yeah.
You are so far into the right tail of the bell curve. You don't have a clue what's good for the average player base anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You're so far gone. Like, you have to remember that you are a tiny percentage. And so when you read, and it's just for the people watching at home, when you read stuff on Reddit is going to have a selection bias where people who post on Reddit are people who are really into MSF. And so the things that people express on there aren't necessarily what's actually representative of the general population that actually plays the game.
Yeah.
So just be careful with like what you're asking for, because exactly what Volge just said, where holy crap, that would be so damaging to the average player.
Yeah. Imagine if like the orb fragment challenge gave at the highest tier gave 10 red star orbs. You know, just as an exaggeration, Reddit would love it. Reddit would be like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
But
every
when
I cleared it,
I would be getting 30 red star orbs, and
a week.
Oh yeah, obviously an exaggeration, but I'm just saying, like, people would love that, but that just screws over the people that aren't there. So, you know,
it's already pretty bad. If you actually look at the difference between tier 12 and it's 12 and 11. It's like, what is it, like one a week or something like that? Like an orb a week? It's actually relatively significant, even just from 12 to 11.
Yeah, I think
so there is the snowball there.
I forget exactly what it is. I know I get 3 red star orbs now from the final tier.
I think I used to get 2
from
the final tier a week.
Okay.
So
and before that, you get like almost nothing, if not anything.
Oh yeah, you start going to 0.
Right.
So, but the good thing about red stars is it's very much a logistic.
That's why red stars are. Imagine if you like got more ahead. I don't know.
Correct. You start to approach the asymptote.
Right.
That's why it's not the big deal.
Right. But I bring that up because we are getting more challenge tiers. But yeah, like I know people complain about, oh, the rewards aren't that good. One, you don't have to do much to complete these. You just build up other stuff, and over time you get more rewards. That's great.
I was gonna.
But if they were really good.
Yeah. So go ahead. I cut you off there. That was rude.
No, you're fine. But I just think I really do think they do a good job of thinking about how this affects. They really don't want new players to just keep falling more and more behind, and people that get further ahead. Besides Arena.
I mean, especially besides Arena. I mean, Arena is like the most pure capitalist system that's in this game. It's just survival of the fittest.
At least newer players have a chance. Imagine if ever there was one Arena shard.
Oh yeah,
that would be really, really bad. At least newer players competing against other newer players.
Yeah, that's. I actually like this system because if you're dedicated and good at it, you get rewarded.
Yeah,
that's good.
Right.
But in terms of fair,
right?
Like to the average guy, no, it's not fair to the average guy. But if you're aggressive and competitive, you'll do fine.
Yeah.
So, I do want to point out with the challenge tiers though, there is a very significant increase from tier. Is it 10
They all have different numbers of.
Where do the T4s start? You get 9 a week at tier 12, but at some point you get none. That's a lot. If you be collecting those every week, those end up adding up.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's 27 a week. 27 a week. Not it's 9 a time it appears in the calendar.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean they're definitely nice. They definitely add up over time for sure. But
so yeah, so there is some of that, but it's relatively smooth, right? It's minute.
Right. Yeah. How are you feeling about Greek raid selectors?
This is the thing that I care about probably least in this whole blog. I think that Greeks suck.
Right.
They suck. They need to be reworked. They're just not fun. To my understanding, they've been that way forever.
As far as they have not changed at all since I've been here.
That's unacceptable in terms of content to engage your customer base. You know, you've got people, just like you described with the challenge tiers, you build up teams, and then, because this is what I've done with Greeks, I've never built anything for a Greek raid.
Right.
It's just like, I guess I have to use this part of my roster now.
Right, exactly.
And then I go do it.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's crappy. So start, like this is a very good time if you're going to add these difficulty selectors to start adding different tribal or faction tags or whatever we're calling them.
Right.
To
I do think they reworked one or two of them a little bit.
Okay.
And they added like Sinister Six, who's not a raid team.
There's a freaking hand and Ravager section, isn't there? What is that?
It's what?
Why is there a hand?
It's Kree / Ravager or Kree / hand.
Yeah, that exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to put your player base through.
Yeah, no, it's.
What are we doing?
It's funny because we both love the raid difficulty selector for U7.
Yes.
Well, just Ultimus in general. And I'm very torn on this. If I can just still get better rewards, I'm happy. But I'm worried about the time sink with having like 2 raids that I can't auto. It's going to be a lot.
Oh, yeah. So I want to say something here. I always like more stuff.
Right.
Just like in Blitz, I have an incredibly high tolerance for mental suffering. I will do anything for free crap in this video game.
Right.
We're like college students, college freshmen with free T-shirts. We'll do anything for them.
Right.
So I'll do it. I won't like it.
Yeah.
Not one iota. Right. So I will suck it up for the most nonsense garbage if they put these raid difficulty selectors such that I can get better stuff. I'll do it. I will not auto it, and I'll fight the fights and I'll get the stuff, but I will resent them for every moment of it. Right. So they should fix it because I'm not having fun. And most people aren't like me. They won't put up with the crap, and they will quit. They will not quit, but they won't challenge themselves. They'll just say, it's just something I do, and they just.
Yeah, I think it's just similar. There's a lot of potential here. Like I've never worked on anything specifically for these raids, which is a problem. But you only have it 1/3 of the time, and I don't know. It feels bad to work on anything for it, and. The rewards are okay. The shards kind of suck. It's basically just gold.
I just do it for gold. The shards are awful. And I don't even have that complete of a roster relative to you.
Right.
Like today I picked up like 12 Vulture shards. Like, I guess this was good? Like, what? I don't know.
That's
first of all,
that's like a pretty good drop from there compared to what you could be getting.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So,
what are we doing?
I'm a little bit nervous about this, and most of the time, but I hope that they make some changes. I mean, the U7 one was great, so I hope they can find a way to make this more interesting.
The U6 was great. I know you weren't running U6.
And I was. In my old alliance, I did. Great. In my old alliance, we ran through the whole.
Oh yeah, you went down to get them. But it was great. That was excellent.
Yeah, it was.
But like we can't 100% use. I mean, like we 30 or 60 difficulty 4 on Greek. For all of them.
Right.
And without issue. We get 30 no problem and 60 sometimes if people show up. I think we get 60 every day if people bothered. But whatever. It's Greek. We're not going to kill people over Greek.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you actually looked at the 30 to 60 rewards in Greek 4.
It's like nothing, right?
It's like 200 gold fragments.
Right, yeah.
It's like why would we kill anyone over this?
Right. But the thing is the 100% rewards are massive.
Yeah. Right.
You get the whole elite orbs and get the uniques and stuff. Like,
Oh my god, I wish. I
Yeah.
wish. But we can't. We don't have the gut. I mean,
Right.
we're not only the effort.
we don't even hit
the
100%.
gas.
We don't even hit 100% daily in all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm hesitant. I hope it.
It's those hand notes, by the way.
Yeah, right. So we'll see. I'm definitely a little bit worried about them. I've already heard people that are in competitive alliances say they could see this being the reason that they drop down to a less competitive alliance. They're already on, U7.5, and if they're gonna have to also do, Greek
Yeah.
Greek 4.5 or whatever,
Yeah.
they're not gonna have time to do that, and the health packs to do it, and all that stuff. So I
Yeah.
hope that they. It could be cool.
Well,
It could be another reason to use more people in your roster, but
Well, okay. There's the problem I have is the same fundamental underlying problem with existing Greeks, is that the raids suck.
yeah,
So I'll be happy with the slider. Again, I'll put up with it, but I will be happier with the sliders if the underlying content isn't trash. To steal a euphemism, if it's not garbage, then I'll play it. I'll be happy with it.
right.
But the slider's not going to make me thrilled. The
Right.
slider's merely a means to an end.
Yeah, it would at least help if they increase the rewards to the base. So that for the same exact thing, you get more rewards. That would at least be nice.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, sure. Just free stuff. Sure, I'll take it.
Because they did that for U7, right? Like the base.
Oh, did I?
Well,
I wasn't doing it.
It got easier. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So
it got easier. You're right.
So
I'd be thrilled if it got easier. I'd be
Right.
thrilled if the base got easier.
if they made the base easier and you got the same rewards, So
I auto Greek 4 to a point, and it's just like some of it I have to play, and some of it, I think Beta I auto, Gamma I auto most of it, and then what I don't remember what Alpha's restrictions are. What am I in for Alpha?
those are the origins
Oh yeah, I run globally.
Or-
I auto that.
or the
I don't know that.
regions or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm full auto all these. I can't do everything in Gamma. The mini boss nodes are just insane, but
yeah, I get stuck on the Defender's Hydra one.
yeah.
We have to triple tap it, but it's
Yeah.
whatever.
So we'll see. I'm a little bit worried about this, and I hope that they realize that this could be a big time sink. It already is annoying. Autoing this just takes a long time still to even just to auto it. So
Yeah, again,
they have a lot of enemies and a lot of health as you get towards the end of it, especially.
Yeah, exactly. The underlying problem is that the raid sucks.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so fix the raid, and
Right.
I'll be interested in the sliders.
Right.
Right now, so to me, this is by far the thing I care least about.
Yeah. Not only do I care least, but the only thing I'm worried about I'm more worried about this than I am about ISO 8. I would say.
No, I'm not. I don't agree with that. ISO 8 could fundamentally break the game if they screw it up. Just like Red Stars did, to my understanding. Right?
Yeah.
Red Stars were a problem when they were released. They were a problem for a long time until they got reworked.
Yeah.
ISO 8 could have the same effect. This is going to be inconvenient and off-putting. This
Yeah.
won't kill anybody. This is...
I could see this. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm mostly just excited about ISO 8, and it could have big ramifications. But I think this could just be a huge time sink. Yeah.
This to me is getting sideswiped on the highway. ISO 8 could be a head-on collision.
Right. Yeah.
Or it could be great.
Right.
I think it's probably going to be good. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. People are playing it, they're trying it. I don't want to sound like the sky's falling. This could just be really annoying.
Yeah.
I gotta do that again.
Yeah.
It just because to me, I already feel that way about it.
I do too.
Anyway, we've killed Greek raids enough. What else is going on?
I think the only thing we have left is this campaign.
I'm so excited.
I had no idea that Ultimus was now trapped in another dimension, to be honest.
Yeah, no one reads Doom's shit. Crap, sorry. Yeah, so Doom, that jerk, at the start of Gamma is just like, "You suck, Commander," blah, blah. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
First of all, I hear your crap every 4 weeks or whatever it is,
Right.
and I hear it for 2 weeks. I don't need to take it from you anymore. Piss off, Doom.
Yeah, we
And
didn't.
yeah, so if you ever bother to read his crappy dialogue, I think he's like trapping Ultimus or something. Who cares?
Yeah.
Apparently, the plot of this game is like relatively interesting, but
Yeah.
but Doom is a jerk.
People seem to like the campaign and stuff. I just have never followed it, and he's annoying with the raids and stuff. So.
Oh, just skip. Why can't I select this in an advanced setting?
I don't know what they were
shut
thinking.
Up, Doom.
Yeah.
Oh,
But this should be cool.
anyway.
New whole campaign, not like a new chapter or anything like this. It seems
So,
like it's been a while since they've added one. They've all been in the game since I've played. I'm not sure when the other ones came out.
so I have a question. Well, they've had new Nexus and new villains and new heroes
They,
campaigns since I started
they've
playing.
added new like chapters or whatever, never like a full
Yeah.
campaign. So
So my question for you is: do you think you will be able to auto this whole thing?
there's got to be a decent chance. I haven't struggled with any of the other ones.
I think that it's going to be for players of a certain echelon. It's walkover, total. I'm gonna get to the nodes I need for my mini nukes. I'm gonna start farming them.
Yeah.
I might have a problem.
Yeah.
Because there's probably going to be node restrictions. I struggled with heroes. I struggled with
Right.
villains. I did not struggle with Nexus. I walked over Nexus.
Right.
Because it was open. But the restrictions in heroes and villains were a problem for me.
Yeah.
There's a chance that players like me have a bit of who are tall and narrow have a problem with this.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of characters to get to level 14. So the question is, am I gonna need Beast to auto this? his kit starts to make a lot more sense when we get a new story campaign and an ISO 8 campaign. So
yeah, and the campaigns have some really good stuff at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
Right. Yeah. It's minis, and it's ISO 8 stuff, which we assume is good.
Right.
So
it is interesting to me that minis are going to be farmable, and you have to get uniques to be farmable. Because, to be honest, right now, having gone through Dark Dimension 3 once, about to go through twice and get a crap ton more minis, uniques are way more of my bottleneck than minis are right this second. Not always.
I totally disagree.
I'm just saying, I could take up, like, a bunch of characters right now if I had their uniques.
Well, but remember that you just cleared a whole bunch of minis.
Right. But I'm just saying.
But you're not. So first of all, you experienced a one-time influx, or I guess it's going to be a two-time influx in income, right? So that's not reliable.
Right.
And so just like your orange gear was when you cleared Ultron and DD1 a couple times. Hold on, do you get orange gear for DD2? I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a bunch of it.
Okay, a bunch of it. Okay. So just like those influxes, eventually you start running out. I am running low on orange gear right now.
Right.
I'm farming it. I don't want to say low, but I'm like, oh shoot, I need to do that. Like that kind of thing. So I think you'll start to feel that mini pain back again. So my advice.
No, I'm glad we're getting minis for sure, but uniques are going to be a huge bottleneck. Again, potentially.
Any more than when you first went to DD2?
I mean, no, not then. But if I need 48 of them, like
okay, yeah.
What if Hela and Thor are really good, and I need how many euros is that total?
No, she does. No, they don't share.
Sorry, Hela's a bad example. Hela and Ghost Rider.
Sif, whoever, yeah.
What
that's fair.
That's gonna be tough. Like uniques were a bottleneck for me for Dark Dimension 3.
Now that you just mentioned, I just realized I am not taking Ghost Rider in Dark Dimension 3. Oh no, that's 37 more. Oh no. Yeah. I need one more for Hela. I need one more. Anyway,
that's it. So I'm just surprised. I mean, maybe they will be at some point, or maybe you get them from the ISO 8 campaign or something like that. But they're definitely a big problem for me right now, especially one character up to get level 14 is not that big a deal, but 2 or 3 of the same unique. I mean that's why Yo-Yo is not getting level 14 right now, is because she shared
losses.
Yeah, and there's other good that use the same titanium or whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm actually buying titanium for that reason right now, because I think I might take Yo-Yo to 13 when the time comes.
Yeah,
I'm going on Colossus right now. So it's just.
I hope that they keep becoming more, especially if we just need like a crap ton of them for a good 15.
Yeah. So something that we also haven't. So 2 things we haven't discussed is number 1, the requirements to get in, and number 2, the possibility that we have a higher echelon of gear. That mini uniques are what you need to get to gear level 14, and I don't know, I would call them anything, but footballs. You need
Sure.
footballs to get to gear level 15. I don't know. I
Right.
think around there's football stuff around. Just something random, like just a totally new, off the wall, completely unfarmable
Right.
thing. That's in play. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's in play.
I don't think so either, just because they're already. I talked about this quite a bit in my beginner blogs. There seem to be introducing a few potential bottlenecks, and if they do too many bottlenecks, they'll kill their player base.
Yeah, it'll just
So,
choke everyone out. By
we'll
definition,
see.
you can't have too many bottlenecks, right? That's not how bottlenecks work. Something's a restricting factor, right? Something's a critical path.
Right.
I
Yeah,
guess
but
it's just a matter of how much misery you want to put your player base through on the
right.
non-critical items, you know?
Right. So I think some stuff's got to give, and I don't know exactly what it'll be, but we'll see.
So what about requirements then for this? Because I have thoughts.
I mean, I assume it's going to be at least 75, if not 80. Probably have to complete
Nexus.
Maybe Nexus, yeah, something like that.
Nexus 8-1.
I think there's a decent chance it's just a mutant campaign or something like that. Like, I mean,
Oh, I know you mentioned Beast, but that makes way more sense now.
like
I love a mutant campaign. I love mutants. Mutants are
yeah,
good.
something like that. Everyone loves mutants. Like, I know Cerebro even said in one of his Reddit posts recently, like, if there's anything the community all agrees on, it's more mutants. Like, people love mutants, so I could definitely see it just being like it would make sense. I mean, we have, Cosmic and Mystic, and so we have like kind of different stuff. One's a
One's an origin and one's
a region, so we could get another
I don't know the
origin.
names. Yeah, I don't know the names. Are they origins or regions or locations?
One's definitely origins. I don't know what the other ones are. There's probably some name
we
for
don't
them.
know. Yeah, we don't know. We just know the city cosmic.
Yeah.
Global.
Right. I know.
And,
I know it means something. But I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, we don't know the names though. That's just too true though. We don't have a clue.
I am a little bit worried about that with ISO 8. That we call them ISO 8 classes. Then what do we call non-ISO 8 classes? I always just thought of them as classes, and they don't mean all that much right now. Blaster, Brawler, that kind of stuff. But
I thought Protector and Controller were classes.
Yeah.
Roles.
Maybe they're roles. I don't know. But
this is like the most confusing thing. We're gonna start thinking these kingdoms and phylums and species.
Right. I am a little bit worried about that because they definitely call them classes for ISO 8, and
yeah,
if someone said classes now, I would think those. But roles might be right.
I think they're role. I think it's a role, but I'm not. Heck, don't pin that one on me.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know that for sure.
And definitely don't.
Also, if you were like, hey, name all the brawlers, I'd be like, I don't know.
Just wait till Dark Dimension 4 requires us to do things by roles or something like that.
Cosmic brawlers only.
We'll see.
I mean, you and I have theorized about that. Like, what if we've talked a lot about X-Force potentially being the potential Doc Ock unlock, but what if it's something random like mutant blasters? It's like, oh,
I've spent a lot of time in the bot spam channel just trying all the different combinations, and this was before Beast, Frost, and Squirrel Girl release, so there could be other combinations I haven't seen yet. So
and so we might be seeing those sorts of bizarre combinations.
To be honest, that's what I'm expecting for Doc Ock. I'm not really expecting X-Force. It seems too obvious.
You are not. Okay.
I'm expecting something trait-based that is slightly different than people are expecting.
6-star, long in the future.
I've played this game long enough that you said in chat today you're like 0 for 10 on where the character's gonna be farmable.
I played this game for 10 plus months, and I believe that no one has been added to the raid store in that time.
Yeah.
I have predicted raid store every single new release, and I've been 0 for the century every time.
Yeah, that's how I feel about pretty much every. Like,
I was sure Blob was going there, just like
Right, exactly. We just got an arena person, so very rarely do we get what we expect, and almost everybody expects X-Force. So I'm almost positive we are not going to need X-Force. But
it's interesting. I think it's the obvious choice, and I will be duped again. So
so we'll see. I don't know what else it could be. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm still thinking it's going to be some sort of mutant trait hybrid. But And again, it would not surprise me if Dark Dimension 4 is actually very straightforward and it has the same restrictions as Dark Dimension 3. Except
What about 2?
1 and 2 have the same, like...
What if it's 2? 1 and 2 don't have the same at all.
Like, the nodes.
So it's 5-man? So it's just open 5-man?
Yeah, open 5-man, exactly.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Dark Dimension 3 is just kind of like the preview, walk into Dark Dimension 4. And Dark Dimension 4 is geared to your 15, but it's got the same restrictions.
Sort of deal, yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Until they put Maw on the Phoenix nodes.
That's exactly what I said.
Why they?
Like
why?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to become a Maw and Minerva show then.
We're
just going to be percent-based damaging our way to victory.
Yeah. So we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if it was more simple than people are thinking. I'm sure people are going to be thinking all sorts of stuff. People were for Dark Dimension 3 too, but
people's imaginations are often far more dangerous than the truth.
That is definitely true. But yeah, I'm super hyped about all this stuff. I think
we just talked for like 2 hours. I don't know what time it is, but I am.
I would bet a lot of money that no one's watching to this point.
Oh yeah, probably not. If you've made it this far, let us know in the Discord.
Yeah,
because we just assume we've lost you. It's
yeah.
just like ping us directly, the both of us. Just be like, hey, I got to this point in the video. I found the Easter egg. I don't have any shoes.
Right.
Shoe on head. Here we go.
Yeah. We should turn this into careers if people are still watching at this point.
Yeah, right. We're basically millionaires at this point.
Apparently, we're more entertaining than we think.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's everything. I think we covered it.
We definitely did. Yeah, thanks for talking through. I definitely was super hyped. I was waiting for you to get off your calls. I was like, I just want to talk about
it. I had a hectic afternoon. My afternoon completely devolved into just complete anarchy. So, like, I was 90 minutes late to this. And you messaged me. I've disabled Discord messages on my phone, like notifications.
Smart.
And I got in there and they're like, have you seen this? I'm like, what? Seen what? Seen what? I was so excited.
I didn't want to ruin all the...
Yeah, you didn't. And I went in and I was just like, Doom!
Yeah. I mean, he just looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm definitely hyped. And when there's stuff that I can take advantage to put me further ahead, I like it. That's one of the reasons I don't like Arena as much when we get to the end game, because the whales have an advantage over me. Like, there's a reason I've always been at the top of Arena. It's because there's always stuff for my shard to be moving towards. But the closer and closer we get to the end stuff, like before Dark Dimension 3, I started to drop because there was nothing for me to work towards. I'm pretty confident I can beat out whales. So I love Dark Dimension 4. I love that there's something to work towards. It might suck. It might take me a month per node or whatever. But if I can still do it ahead of whales and other people in my shard, I like that there's something to work towards.
And if you are still watching this video, take this one thing so you can get discouraged. I just posted the war guide, which I still needs work, but I gave it to someone on the Tahiti Discord. Always remember this. Just because someone wails doesn't mean they have any brains, which means you can beat them. Don't give up. You can beat them.
Yeah. We can go ahead and end it there. Thanks for
closing message. You can beat them. Don't give up.
All right.